Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Live with Yana live stream. And tonight's topic is job search tools, how to stand out in 2020. So thank you for finding some time this evening to join our live discussion. Make sure to introduce yourself in the comments. Let us know what you do and join our conversation with your comments and questions. I'll pop the reminder for you as well. Yep. Make sure introduce yourself in the comments and let us know where you're watching us from. So if you're new to my live show, I'm Yana Martins and I'm a video confidence coach, and I help my clients to overcome camera phobia so they can connect with their professional community online through the power of the video. So tonight we are going to talk about job search tools and how to stand out in 2021. And Marina is going to share her valuable insights and real life experience when it comes to job search, especially in 2021. So as the world is changing, I'm sure there are a few of us looking for a new job or maybe in the process of career change. And job search can be challenging and emotional draining, especially, in the current climate. Hence, using the best available tools is crucial at the moment. So it's incredibly relevant topic tonight in today's world, and make sure to tag and share this live stream with your friends who need to hear this information. So before I'll pass it on to Marina to introduce herself, I just want to quickly remind you that we are going live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So to watch replays, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or head to my website, yanamartins.com, and click on the blog in the menu to watch the replays. So I'm going live every second Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Melbourne time with various experts from my network, talking about all things effective communication online, LinkedIn, personal branding, and job search. So we are going to answer majority of your questions from all the platforms. Please make sure you ask as many questions as you want, but please stay on the topic. And the most active participants will also receive a nice surprise at the end of the stream. Here we go. I forgot. Oh my God. I know who is it. But I forgot.
It's Keith.
Yeah, last time we were laughing about the checking Git one, and was trying to guess the Keith's name. Here we go. And now I have like a blank moment. Here we go. Keith is here. Please make sure, guys, whoever is here, don't forget to introduce yourself and say hi. And I'm passing on to Marina to introduce herself. Please.
Well, thank you, Yana, for inviting me tonight. It's so nice to be here. My name is Marina Pitisano. My business is Let's Create Your Career, and I'm a career coach. And what I do is I help men and women get back into the workforce. So, as Yana pointed out, job search can be very draining. It can be very emotional. It can be very difficult. So what do you need today to make sure that you're getting ahead in your job search and winning that opportunity that you're always looking for? So thanks, Yana, for inviting me, and it's very exciting to be here.
Thank you, Marina. And also, guys, whoever's listening us tonight, please let us know if you are actually looking for a job at the moment. If you are in this position at the moment, and maybe what is your biggest challenge in your job search, now in 2021. And, Marina, my first question would be, what's the main trends in 2021? What's actually happening?
Absolutely. Great question. So the market at the moment is in flux. So what I mean by that is things are moving around very quickly. So you have what's called growth areas, like healthcare is definitely growing. So people that want to get into the health sphere are not just about content tracing, but there's a lot of people in aged care and lots of areas of health that people are looking for. What you've also noticed in 2021 is that businesses are resizing, downsizing, changing. So they might have had to sort of let go of people last year, but now coming back into 2021 and their businesses are growing. So administration, office management, hospitality, retail, business skills, specialist skills. They're all growing at the moment. So what you'll find is there's opportunities all the time. People really need to be in the market looking for jobs and really looking at watching it carefully, because jobs will appear all the time. And so therefore you need to be in it to win it. So a lot of people think, oh, their opportunities aren't there. But what I'm finding with my clients is that we are definitely applying for jobs. There are, there's jobs everywhere at the moment. But the key to the success is making sure that your tools are working for you. It is really important because, yes, the opportunities are there. IT is growing, many areas are growing, but there's a lot of competition. The problem is the competition is what's causing a lot of grief for people, because your jobs are available, but there could be sometimes up to 200, 300, even 500 applications. So you need to know, how do you stand out when there's 500 applications?
And so where would we start? For example, someone, just maybe, I don't know, lost a job, or, we obviously had a lot of redundancy last year. So where would you start? And you knew for job search?
Absolutely. So the most part is where we always start is the resume. You need to make sure that your resume is search engine optimized. So you've got to make sure your resume is quite specific and very well formatted. Now, what people do is they think what's important about their resume is the fact that it's, bright and shiny. It's not really about making sure that it stands out in a visual perspective. It stands out in a written perspective. That recruiters at the moment, and Blake from one of the recruiters is really great at talking about this, is that a recruiter will give a resume 4 seconds. 4 seconds. So if a resume is only looked at 4 seconds, what does it need for you to be able to stand out? So I always suggest to my clients and recommend that their career summary is extremely strong, that it really highlights their years of experience, their capabilities, and a little bit about them. So really showcasing those key skills that are going to meet the role they're applying for. The other thing that's really important is the format of it. Make sure that your titles. Now, most career coaches and everyone will tell you that titles need to match the roles. So you need to make sure that things are matching. The titles are the only thing that can change, because I can be a coordinator in one job, but I could be an officer in another job. So it's about being able to shift and change those titles. No one's going to talk to you and worry that you have the wrong title. That is the only thing that can change. The other thing about the format is that those titles and the organizations you work for and the dates are actually bold and highlighted. So when I look at your resume, I can scan it very quickly and go, yep, this person works at the ANZ, this person works at NAB, this person works for that area, this person. So again, I'm picking up more and more information. Making sure strong achievements are on your resume. This is where you will be different and very specific in the sense of what success have you had in your jobs. So therefore, this is where you become more unique. Now, the other thing that's important is scan your resume. So go to jobscan.com and scan it. See that how much it matches the role that you're looking for. You need to get over 80% to make sure that you match that role. So this is where people who are looking for jobs that have got experience in that job can really maximize their resume and really highlight it and drive those key words. If you don't drive those keywords, if you don't maximize the summaries, the titles, the achievements in your resume, you'll fall behind. Now, if you do not have the experience for the role that you're going for, that's where I say you need a different job strategy. This is where you might need to identify the companies you might want to work for and send out an expression of interest. this is where you need to make sure your pitch is quite unique and strong, that you know who you are. I often speak to clients. I have clients that I'll say, well, describe yourself in 3 words, and they can't do it. They can't actually describe themselves in 3 words.
Yep.
Or why do you want to work for this company? Or why do you, this is the role, I want to work as an IT rep in Telstra. So why do you want to do it? Oh, it's just something that I think I'm good at. That's not strong enough. You've got to be able to develop and drive that, you know, you have the technical skills, you have key initiatives, you have adaptability, you have flexibility, you've got all these skills that you're going to be able to apply to that industry, and it meets that industry. So this is why the resume is really important.
Okay, let's just summarize. Like, there's just so many good points there, Marina. So I guess I think great point also, start with a resume, then you're looking for job that you already have a good experience. I think like, you know, if you're going to some new role, might be hard to start with resume. You might need to start with some sort of research. Yeah. But if you're looking for something you had experience before, it's a great way to start with resume. You mentioned about the career objections. I just want to, I guess, be a bit more specific. Do you have any recommendations about, I don't know, is it a 1 paragraph? Is it 2 paragraphs? How long would you make it?
The career summary should only be 1 paragraph. It's about 200 words. It has to be crisp. I call it crunchy, and direct. It tailors exactly a little, it's like the introduction to your book. So you are the book and it's your introduction. It is describing you in a few words around your years of experience, your key responsibilities, and who are you as a person, those key skills. Absolutely.
And with the keywords, I know that in some companies, it's artificial intelligence that's scanning resumes. That's what's happening? And that's one of the other reasons we need to pay attention to the keywords?
Absolutely. The larger the organization, the more chance they have a tracking system. The smaller the recruiters have tracking systems. So depending on whether you apply for your role through to a recruiter, the tracking system will be there. And definitely, if you're a large organization, I'm not going to mention the organizations because all I can tell you is if they're large, they will have a form of tracking system. And the reason why they've got to introduce a tracking system is because they're receiving so many applications. So you have to beat it. You have to get through that tracking system. And even seek.com, when you put your application up, when you put your resume up on seek.com, you will know if you've done it correctly, because if you've got the right search engine words in there, you will get reached out by Seek. If you're not getting reached out by Seek or people are not reaching out to you, you actually haven't got it right.
Yeah. And look, I think that there's another question that a lot of people usually ask or get confused. Do you actually need to rewrite your resume if you're applying for the different positions? Do you actually need to adjust your resume every time you're applying for different
Well,
roles?
I'll actually rephrase that. You actually need to rechange your resume for, even if you're applying for the same position, you should be changing your resume, because when you read your job ad and you see the key selection criteria, say for example, I'm going to go for an easy one, an office manager. Okay. Some office management roles they might have team that they have to look after, or there might be specific responsibilities that they might do in a different industry compared to an office manager role in a different industry. So when you are actually looking at the key selection criteria, you might find that they're actually quite different. So what is important is you adjust your skill summary slightly to meet the skills that they're looking for in that key selection criteria. And you might need to move the responsibilities or highlight different achievements to match that job. Now, people are going to turn around and say, you've got to be joking. I apply for 20 jobs a week. Well, the reason you're applying for 20 jobs a week is because you're actually not doing that. You're actually not moving things around and you're actually not changing things. So as I said, if someone is looking at your resume for 4 to 6 seconds, they need to you need to make sure they are capturing the right information. So you slightly change things around. So it's better for you to get it right and do it well than to apply for so many jobs that that you're not having success. So of course, if you've got the same jobs, you're changing. But if you've got different jobs, of course, that's even doing it a little bit more deeply, because now you might not have the experience, but now it's your attributes, your personal employability skills that you need to highlight. So there's always a reason. So always be careful when you get your resume professionally written. It has to be a document that you can maneuver and change and work with. So therefore, you can actually drive a great story every single time.
And do you have, I don't know, your favorite structure in terms of, yeah, usually we put the career objective on the top, and then would you usually go with like education or experience, or I don't know, volunteer experience or skills? Do you have any preferable structure that you think is work better?
Well, it's interesting you just said that. I don't ever use a career objective. So I never let my client, I never tell my clients that you are looking for the job. I always, because that is your you've got to maximize your summary. So if you make it an objective, no offense, it's like if you're going to a job and you're saying my career objective is to work for you, you're actually telling them the obvious. You need to use every word possible to tell them why you should be chosen for the job. So I always like a career summary. Some recruiters, so this is where you've got to be careful. Some recruiters don't like a laundry list of skills. Okay, so I tend to put that in, because if you don't have the history and you don't have the experience, we need to be able to highlight something that you can match. So a skill summary. Then it's your employment history, like I said, that really tailors the actual titles and organizations, describe a little bit about the organizations, the achievements and the responsibilities. And then we finish off with referees that we just let them know that the referees. Now, and education. Now, it depends on the job. If education is really critical, so if you're going for science, you're going for accounting, you're going for IT, IT technical skills critical. They need to be showcased up the top. When we're looking at education, if your job needs the education to do an engineer, then you do your education up front. If education is not that necessary, I put it to the back. The other thing that I do is I scan someone's career history, and I think that if you are going for a job, but your experience is not in your last role, but it's in the previous role, I then create a career evolution. I then create a little career table that shows all the jobs you've been through, because that way when someone is scanning it, they can say, aha, this person might not have the job now, but they had the job. So it's always looking at, how do I deliver my messages? How do I deliver my information to make someone curious enough to want to see me and meet me and put me in the yes bucket? So I'm always looking at, how do I manipulate that tool to make sure I can get attention?
Yeah, 100%. And I guess the second step would be a cover letter. So I guess what's the main difference? We already put the career summary in there. Why we need the cover letter?
Because it's in the cover letter that you're able to show more stories. So again, it's in your cover letter that is far more search engine optimized than your resume. Your cover letter is able to really highlight, when you look at the key selection criteria, it's really looking at each piece and writing a little bit of a story of why you meet that. Now, just recently, I was with a client who was going for, it's a data analytical job, and there was seven key criteria. Key criteria. When she wrote her cover letter, she only put in 4. She only addressed 4 key selection criteria. Now, when I read through it, I said to her, they've asked for 7 and you've just mentioned 4. In many ways, you probably would not get through, because you're not actually addressing everything they want. So for the viewers, I would strongly recommend. Now, every application, every job ad tells you, yes, I want a cover letter, or no, I just want a resume. So follow the instructions. If you do not follow the instructions already, they're going to say, you don't know how to follow instructions. How are you going to work with us? So people think, well, they say they want a cover letter, but I don't believe they want it. I'll just send the resume. Bump out, you're out. So make sure, so if there is a cover letter requirement, make sure you address each piece and making sure that you address or highlight. So remember, when there's a cover letter, they might not go to your resume. They might read your cover letter first. If you have highlighted the key achievements or given enough story or given enough information, that they will then believe you're the right suitable candidate. Some people scan their cover letter, and what they do is they go tick, tick, tick. I'm just going to have a quick look at their resume. Yes, it matches, bang in the yes. So you can see how quickly people work when they're looking for what they're looking for. So if you can really pop in the cover letter, showing clearly how you meet that criteria with a very strong story or strong achievement or strong attributes, you will actually get through. But it's always being able to tailor and write the correct information to make sure that you can get in. And I'm just finding that people are not that thorough. They're not that detailed. They're not giving the right information. They're seeing it from their eyes and not from the hiring manager's eyes. You've got to put yourself in the shoe of the hiring manager and go, if I'm an office manager, what is it that I know that's not actually written in this ad, but I know it requires? So it requires resilience, or it requires a really well organized approach, or it requires planning. And if you can't see it, throw that in some of the answers. So it's always around, what else do I know about this job that I can showcase that will show the hiring manager that I know how to do it.
And I guess, next question I have, and I'm going to ask the audience this question as well. Like, where are you looking for a job usually? Because, I guess first thing that pops in the mind and looking for a job, it's Seek. Yeah, that's the first place that probably comes in everyone's mind. For me, I guess the second place will be LinkedIn. But obviously, there is way more different websites and some tools and where people can actually look for a job. So, guys, let me know if you've been using any other websites where you look for a job or maybe found your previous job before. And Marina, to you, like, what
There's
kind of
heaps of
websites out there?
There's Ethical Jobs is one of the best websites that you can go to. Absolutely love Ethical Jobs. Simply Hired is another one. Apply Direct is another one. There is also, through COVID 2020, the government set up a career hub, www.des.gov.au. So you can go into that career hub and you can find it. The other place where you would find, and LinkedIn is now massive. LinkedIn has a lot of apply. So you'll probably find it on Seek. You'll probably find it on LinkedIn, government websites. The other place that you need to find your jobs is the companies you want to work for in their career tabs. Now, sometimes depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for general management, if you're looking for banking and finance, if you're looking for financial, a lot of times the jobs are actually on their website. And what I'm finding sometimes is the job that's on their website hasn't been advertised anywhere else. So this is probably where, if you're looking at finance roles and you want to work for the top 4, or if you want to work for organizations that have got finance departments, you need to go to people's websites. But the government hub, Ethical Jobs, Simply Hired, or Apply Direct, Indeed.com, My Career One, there are so many websites. You really need to search them all, because they're not always a manipulation of each other. They're not, we'll put it here and put it there. Each job site might have different roles that you need to look for. So definitely have a look around at different jobs and job sites.
I actually recently come across one company that simply stopped advertising on Seek because it just decided to save money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they don't need to. They might just do it on there. Exactly. They might just do it on, a lot of times they might just put it up on their own website. And because people, depending on how big the company is or how well known it is, they think, well, if you want to work for us, we'll just put it up there. And of course, not only do you have to apply, but you know how to reach out to recruiters and talk to the recruiters. So you've got to remember, a recruiter does not work for you. A recruiter is not working. You're not paying. They don't get paid to work for you. They get paid to work for the company. But what you need to do with a recruiter is demonstrate how, if they were to help you, they would get paid from the company because you are a strong candidate. You are a person that the recruiter can put in front of a company and get paid. And that's the trick. Again, think about the person you're working with and put yourself in their shoes and think about what will benefit them rather than you. And therefore, by turning that around, you'll have people that are in your corner trying to help you.
Yeah, no, 100%. And and I guess coming back to different strategy, I probably would say a lot of people would be struggling now simply applying through Seek, because there will be so many people just applying through Seek, and unfortunately, this strategy will be not enough in a lot of cases. So especially, I guess, if you're doing the career change and if you don't have this strong resume with like 100 years of experience in particular role and all the keywords, then you're probably not getting responses and applying for 20 jobs per week. So what's the best strategy to follow if the traditional way doesn't work?
Well, I think in many ways, LinkedIn is really important. Really, LinkedIn is not your resume. You have to really optimize your LinkedIn profile. And this is where, you have a lot of LinkedIn specialists. Jana, you've worked with Karen Hollenbach and a few others, where they will tell you that, you have your LinkedIn profile pretty well optimized. Now, what's important about what's optimizing your LinkedIn? The words under your name should not have looking for opportunities, or you can be open for work, but it's around maximizing the words, because the words under your name and your about section is where the words need to be fully optimized. So look at the types of jobs you will want to get into and think, do I have at least the characteristics, or do I have the skills, or do I have the capabilities, or do I have those employability skills that I might not have the experience, but I can maximize those areas. So you need to know who you want to attract and who and what you are. So in your LinkedIn profile, really highlight in your 2,200 words a little bit about your background, a little bit about your experience, and a little bit about your skill set. Maximize the rest of it through the experience that you had in other jobs. Maximize your achievements. Where you can, try to get recommendations about your work style. So the more you optimize it, your recommendations, moving around the skill sets. But more importantly is how you use LinkedIn. It's about how you network. It's about, when you're finding jobs, looking on LinkedIn to see who might be in those companies, who you might be able to reach out to, who you might be able to connect with. So the other thing is, using it from that perspective, also reaching out and maybe finding the recruiters or key hiring managers and introducing yourself and being confident. I always say to my clients that John Maxwell said that everything that you want is outside of your comfort zone. So in order for this is the time that you have to get quite uncomfortable. And this is the time that you might have to do things that you're not comfortable doing. And you need to do it very confidently. So what is important is to be able to go, okay, I'm going to reach out to key recruiters or key hiring managers or organizations, and I need to actually reach out and ask them to see if they can spend some time with me. So you need to think about why would they spend the time with you. So you need to explain a little bit about who you are and why you want to reach out to them. You will find that most people want to help you. A lot of times the actual person that's reaching out is quite scared and is not doing that. But you now need to have that strategy of reaching out and talking to people. The other thing is attending. I know that we've been in COVID, but now many events are coming back. So go to meetups, go to associations, go to network meetings, go where your possible employer or hiring manager is playing and introduce yourself. So one of my clients, I went to a network event. It was called Business in Heels. And I was sitting there, and across the table there was a lovely lady who was looking for a job. And as we all went around the room, we all introduced ourselves. People ran businesses, and she introduced herself and she said, I am Teresa, and I'm looking for the opportunity to find a job. I've come here today to get to meet new people and see who I can connect with. This is my background. This is what I could offer. And possibly you might all know some people that I could connect with. Now, I happen to be a career coach sitting right opposite her. She ended up being my client. Just recently, she got her job. So you don't know who you meet in unusual places. So, think about today I'll do an application. Tomorrow I'll go and meet Yana. Yana is very well networked. Maybe I'll go meet Yana. Maybe she might know someone that she could introduce me to. Go and sit through a recruiter or a person that's doing some teaching about this area. Go and sit with other people. So it's about doing different things and connecting with different people and meeting. When I ran, both Karen and I ran a LinkedIn optimized workshop. And the first meeting that we set up, we talked about how to maximize LinkedIn. And there was a gentleman from overseas. He had been in the country only a couple of months. Now, while he was in the country, he spent heaps of time reaching out to so many different people that in a couple of months, a person that'd been in our country for a couple of months, he reached out to that many people that he eventually, in 3 months, got a role that he was able to apply for and won. And it was only through his connections, meeting people, getting out there, that he eventually met someone that was able to give him an opportunity. I know people feel very uncomfortable doing that. I know people, and the introverts will feel that they need to hold back and they don't want to step out. But unfortunately, in today's world, you need to navigate the market, both the hidden and the ones that you see. So I encourage you to all really put together a great pitch. You all have some uniqueness about you that you can promote. There's always something special about everybody. Capture that, promote that, and drive that, because someone will reach out to help you, and that is the way. And never, ever give up. Never give up in trying to get the job that you ideally want, because I just see that some people will give up. They could have done hundreds of applications, but keep trying and keep doing different things, and you'll eventually get the result you want.
And guys, while you're listening, please let us know what sort of a job search strategy you're using currently, or maybe you used before then you were looking for a job. And we also have a question from Naveen. Naveen is asking, how long should you wait to follow up after the interview when they said they will get back to you? Does it actually take that long to get back to the candidates, even if they aren't quality? I feel it's very lazy.
I know. Thank you so much, Naveen. I think this is a real issue at the moment. What's important is to find out from the interview. You always need to find out from the interview, when will they get back to you? That could be a question you could ask. So what is the next process? If they say to you, we will get back to you in 1 or 2 weeks, after the first week, send them an email to say, thank you so much for the interview. I am still extremely interested in this role. Can you please advise if you've chosen the successful candidate? If you don't hear anything, you do it again in another week's time, because they said 1 to 2 weeks. You do it again, right? And you say again, I'm very passionate about this role. Can you please let me know if I've been successful? If you still haven't heard from them, a couple of days later, do it again. I do ask my candidates to follow up as many times as possible to eventually get that result. But what you'll find that sometimes you never get a response. It's not because they're lazy. For some reason, they dropped the ball or they've changed their mind. So give yourself 2 to 3 weeks. And if you don't hear from them, unfortunately, you need to move on. It's a very sad case. I really don't appreciate it. I get frustrated with that as well with my clients, but definitely find out when you're going to get when you're going to get a response, and definitely follow up as many times as you can. Do not feel shy in following that up. I know it's difficult because you might get a rejection, but you need to know so that you can move on.
Yeah, and sometimes you might be lucky and receive some feedback.
Well,
at least if you remind to go back to you, even if you're unsuccessful, there is a chance that they will give you constructive feedback that might really help you in the further search as well.
And what you could say after the third time that you've responded is that, like, dear sir, madam, or if you know the person's name, I understand that possibly I've missed out on this role because I've not heard from you. Could I have some feedback? So see how you make those statements. Maybe I've missed out. Could you please give me some feedback? This is what I mean about being really concise in how you deliver your message. That's a difficult message to say. I might have missed out because you're still hoping. But if they've not come back to you, there's a good chance you have. Well, own it, acknowledge it, ask them, tell them, and then ask for that feedback. Unfortunately, you will not always get feedback, but if you drive it hard enough, sometimes you will.
Sometimes they might just hire someone internally, and there's nothing wrong with your resume or nothing wrong with your interview.
That exactly happened to one of my clients. He went for a job. He hadn't heard. It took a few weeks, but he persisted. And then they turned around and said, look, I'm sorry, you missed out because we took someone internally. He then went back and said, great, I'm happy that you picked, but do you have some feedback for me? And they did provide a little bit of feedback, not massively a lot, but a little bit that he could work with. But yes, so he was like, well, why didn't you tell me that in the first place? But he persisted and he got it because at least he knew that there might not have been anything that he had done wrong. It was just the fact that they looked at someone internally, and so he was able to move on from there. It was disappointing, but he dealt with it and moved on.
But I guess that's another thing about the mindset. It's not letting this thoughts about that you've done something wrong or you're not good enough or things like this get in your head. Because of course, if you're getting a few rejections in a row, that's kind of negative thinking start to kick in, and it's definitely not helping you with the job search.
Well, Yana, that's exactly the point, because your confidence can erode when you're applying for so many jobs, and it's in a sea of darkness because no one's giving you. People are sending in off applications, they're not getting any feedback. So that's why I just keep saying to people, you need to just keep your confidence up. You need to keep your confidence up, stay quite prepared, and eventually you'll receive success. So it's really important that people don't give up and people just keep their confidence up, because it can just erode your self-esteem when you are exactly prepared plus confidence equals success. So you just need to keep being fully prepared, stay confident, and eventually it will break and you'll achieve success. I know so many people that have achieved their success simply by just being adamant of not giving up and just keep going and going. And you need to do that in today's market. You will find the person that will help you eventually.
And I guess it's positioning yourself in your mind the way that you are in demand. I know it can be hard and you're getting so many rejections, but it's still kind of putting it in your mind, I'm in demand. It doesn't matter if these people, not taking me. I probably, the culture doesn't fit or something, but I still feel like I'm in demand.
I love that, because I actually say to my clients, well, they're going to suffer for not taking you because you're fantastic. And I know you're very good at what you do. And I said, the person that does get you will be very, very happy. So it's just nice for them to feel that. It's very nice for people to feel that they are wanted, because no's and no's and no's, it's rejection. And people find it difficult sometimes to bounce back. But when you think, no, I will find the person that will value me because I am valuable, having that positive spin and really believing in that. And that's why it's critical, because when you're not feeling confident, you sound not confident. You don't deliver your messages confidently, and that's how it gets eroded. So you need to keep being in that space and staying strong, because eventually you'll get it.
Not only you not sound confident, you won't move confident, and your nonverbal communication just give it all out. So I know it sometimes feels strange, keep I don't know, tricking your mind saying that I'm in demand even if I get like 50 rejections. But your body will respond, and then you go to the next interview. If you keep it in mind, you definitely will perform differently as well, because it's obviously really important to understand how people perceive you as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we hitting our 40 minutes mark. And if guys, you still have any questions to Marina, please, there is a last chance to ask any questions regarding the job search in 2020. We're gonna slowly wrap the things up. I always trying to finish before 45 minutes, not always manage it, but let's try. So before, while you're thinking about your, last question, I just want to remind you that I'm going live fortnightly now, every second Wednesday, 5:30 Melbourne time, and next show will be on the 31st of March, and we're gonna speak with Joseph about top tips for boosting your personal brand on LinkedIn. As Marina has mentioned before, LinkedIn is really important for the job search these days, and we're gonna look to some strategy with Joseph in 2 weeks. And in the month, on the 14th of April, we're gonna speak with Renata about how to choose a career that's right for you. Because often with the job search, it's not only about, the resume and cover letter comes only after you actually decide what you want to do. If you if you not idea what you actually want, especially in this market, if you send like these hundreds and thousands of resume, but they're all quite general, that won't help you, especially as we talk about the keywords and specific ideas.
And that is exactly, I'm a job search coach. So I actually work with people that know exactly what they want to do and how to get over the line. So yes, understanding what you really want and where you want to go is a good start. So understanding your direction and then getting your tools right just gets you where you want to go. So absolutely.
So yeah, if you guys one of those who don't even know what job they want to get, make sure to join us on the 14th of April with Renata. And if you do know what job you want to get, what you do, you connect with Marina on LinkedIn.
That's right. Or what they can do
yep.
is like what I put up is, go to my website, www.let's.create.com.au, and book in a chat with me. Come and have a chat with me about what's happening in your world, what's happening around your tools. Do you feel your tools are getting success, or do you need some more help? And if you want to, you can also download my application kit. The code there, CV 2020. Just download it and have a look at the resume template I strongly suggest, and the way I think a cover letter should write. So you've got that special offer of either downloading the application kit or having a free complimentary chat with me about your situation and how I might be able to help you improve that situation and drive you to further success.
Guys, I will drop the link to Marina's website in the comments, so you can click and get get to this job application kit or to the complimentary chat with Marina. So it's for everyone who watched us live today. So make sure to jump in and take this opportunity. And also, if you're enjoying our conversation, make sure to hit this like button and, give me a bit of a laugh if you get some value from tonight's discussion. And I guess to wrap it up, I don't know, Marina, I'm going to just put you on the spot. Is it any, I don't know, your favorite quote or some inspirational message that you want to, finalize our today's discussion?
John Goodman was a coach, and what he said, it's all the little things in life that matter and that will achieve great success. So I ask all my job search candidates and people that are searching, it's all those little things that you improve and change and keep adding that eventually will get a major result. So don't think it's something that you're doing wrong. Don't think it's something that you've got to change drastically. It's just tidying up all those little things and getting them right, and eventually you'll get what you want in the end, because your focus will be on really improving every little aspect of yourself.
Thank you, Marina. Guys, again, don't give up. Opportunities is there. It's all about positive mindset and implementation as well. So thank you so much again for joining us. It's a beautiful evening tonight. I might squeeze the walk along the beach just as soon as we finish this live stream, and maybe even like little swim. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye. Thanks everyone.